Alright, in this video, I'm going to show you how to use the TI-83 plus graphing calculator to do these summations here that I have here. Because some of you may have just a TI-83 plus graphing calculator and not the TI-84 plus graphing calculator. The TI-84 plus does it a simpler way, and I showed that in the video for section 5.1. But here, for those who don't have the TI-84 plus calculator and only the TI-83 plus, then here's the way that you're going to have to do these sequences, okay, or these summations, I should say. First of all, it's going to have this pretty much format: the sum, and then sequence, and then you'll enter your algebraic expression. Then you have to enter the variable. The variable has to be the same variable that's in your algebraic expression. And then lower limit and upper limit, each is separated by a comma. Okay? So, let me go ahead and show you. Like in example 1, you got the summation for k equaling from 1 to 20 of k. Alright? But instead of k, I'm going to use x. And in fact, I'm going to be using x's for each one of these 8 examples here. So, to start off, to get the sum, you have to do this. You have to press second and then the stat, because right above it is list. You should see this menu. Second stat gives you this screen. Then you're going to use your right arrow key to go over to the math menu. And under number 5, you're going to see the word sum. So you can use your down arrow key to get to sum, or press number 5 for sum, and then press enter. And then we're going to pull up the sequence command. So again, you're going to do second and stat. This time, you're going to use your right arrow key to highlight the ops menu, OPS. And right under menu item number 5, you're going to see the word sequence, S-E-Q. That's sequence. So you can scroll down, use the down arrow key to highlight number 5, or press number 5 for the sequence menu, and then press enter. Now, the next thing I'm going to enter is what's after the summation symbol. That's the K in this case. But instead of K, I'm going to be using X, which for me, that's the easiest way to do this, rather than using the alpha menu or the alpha key. I mean, you could, but it's quicker for me to use X's here. So I'm going to go ahead and do xt theta n for the X, because that's going to be the expression here. And then I'm going to have to press the button that says comma, right above the number 7. So I press comma. And then the variable, since I'm using X here, I have to also use X as well, because notice that the variable here, if I'm using this X, then that means I have to use the X here. They have to be the same. The variable has to be the same. And then separated by another comma, my lower limit, here's my lower limit, which is 1, and then comma, the upper limit, 20, close parentheses, and then press enter. And here you'll get the answer of 210. So that means that the summation for k equaling from 1 to 20 of k would be 210. Okay, and you can see that I got that same answer here when I did this on a previous video. All right, part B. Here we got from k equaling from 1 to 7 of 3k plus 1. Or in this case, 3x plus 1, since I'm using x's here, as in my examples here. So again, we start with second stat. Use your right arrow key to go to math. Select number 5, which is going to be the sum. And then, again, second stat. This time, your right arrow over to ops, and you're going to select number 5, which is SEQ, sequence. Select number 5. Now we're going to enter this expression, 3k plus 1, or 3x plus 1. So it'll be xt theta for the x plus 1. Then that's going to be separated by a comma. Then we have to enter the variable that we're using here. In this case, I'm using x, so I have to press xt theta for that x, because that has to be the same as the variable that I'm using in this problem. That's going to be separated by another comma. Press the comma key above that's above number 7. My upper and lower limits. Here's my lower limit, which is 1. My upper limit is 7. So 1 will be the lower limit, separated by another comma. And then my upper limit is 7. Then close parentheses. Hit enter. And you'll get the answer of 91. Okay. All right, part C. Here we got the summation for k equaling from 1 to 7 of k squared. All right, in this case here, we start with the sum by doing second stat, right arrow to math, and select number 5 for sum. And then for the sequence, second stat again, right arrow over to ops, and select number 5 for your sequence, which is SEQ. And then our variable expression, or expression in this case is going to be k squared, but we're going to use x squared. So I'm going to use xt theta n for the x, and then hit x squared to square it. Now it's going to be separated by a comma, so I need to press the button that says comma. And then the variable I'm using is x, so I have to assign it that as x by pressing xt theta n for the x, separated by another comma. My lower limit is 1, so type in 1, comma, upper limit 7, close parentheses. Okay, I got one too many commas here, so I need to delete that. There we go. And then finally press enter. And you'll get that answer of 140. So the summation for k equaling from 1 to 7 of k squared will be 140. All right, now I'm going to move this over for part D. Here we got the summation for n is equal from 1 to 7 of 3 plus n squared. And I'm going to do 3 plus x squared since I'm using x in these examples here. All right, so second stat, and then right arrow to math, select number 5 for sum, and then for the sequence, second stat, right arrow to ops, select number 5 for sequence. Okay, and then I'll enter this expression using x instead of the n, so it'll be 3 plus x squared. So in this case here, 3 plus, get the x and then square it. And then separate that by a comma. The variable I'm using is x, so I need to type in the x, or press xt theta n for the x, and then comma. My lower limit this time is 1, comma, upper limit 7, close parentheses. Hit enter. And in this case here, you will get 161. For the summation for n equaling from 1 to 7 of 3 plus n squared, that'd be 161. Okay, now for part E. Okay, this is going to be a little bit different because of the fact I have the summation from m is equaling from 1 to 4 of 2m plus 2, all of that's divided by 5. The variable expression is what is going to be a little bit different. But here, you'll do second stat, right arrow over to highlight the math, select number 5 for the sum, and then for the sequence, second stat, right arrow to highlight ops, and then select number 5 for the sequence. Now for that 2m plus 2. That 2m plus 2 is all divided by 5, so the 2m plus 2 needs to be put in parentheses. So here I'm going to do left parentheses, 2. Instead of m, I'm going to use x, so xt theta n for the x, plus 2, close parentheses. around the 2. Then that's going to be divided by the 5. Then that's going to be separated by a comma. And the variable I'm using is x, so I have to press xt theta n for the x, and then comma. My lower limit will be 1, upper limit is 4. So type in the lower limit of 1, comma, upper limit 4, close parentheses, and then hit enter. Now here I get 5.6 as a decimal, but if they want that answer as a fraction, what you'll have to do here is press the math key and then select number 1 for fraction. And that would give you 28/5. Okay, so the summation for m equaling from 1 to 4, or 2m plus 2 divided by 5, will be 28/5, or 5.6 as a decimal. Okay, now part F is the summation for j equaling from 1 to 5 of 2j minus 3. Okay, so still we're going to be using x's here instead of the j. So I'm going to do second and stat. Right arrow to math. Select number 5 for sum. And then for the sequence, second, stat. Right arrow over to ops. And select number 5 for sequence. And then we're going to enter this expression. Instead of the j, we'll use x, so it'll be 2x minus 3. So it'll be 2 xt theta for the x minus 3. And then separate that by a comma. The variable I'm using is x, so I have to press xt theta in to get the x. Then comma. My lower limit is 1, so I type in the 1, comma, upper limit, that's 5. Close parentheses. And then press enter. So here I get the answer of 15. Now, part G. The summation for k equaling 4 from 1 to 8 of k times 4k plus 9. Okay, so this is what we'll do. Second, stat. Right arrow key twice for the math menu, and then select number 5 for sum. And then second stat again. This time, right arrow once to find the sequence menu, which is number 5, or the sequence command, which is number 5. So you'll select number 5 for that. And then we'll type in this expression. But we're using x here, so in this case, it'll be x, and then left parentheses, 4x plus 9. 4, get the x, plus 9. Close parentheses around that 4x plus 9. Then that's going to be separated by a comma. And then that x is what we're using here, so we have to press x there, regardless, and then comma. K, your lower limit is 1, so we type in the 1, comma. Upper limit is 8, type in the 8, then close the parentheses, hit enter. So that means we have the summation for k equaling from 1 to 8 of k times the quantity 4x plus 9 would be 1140. And finally, part H, which is over here. The summation from n equaling from 0 to 4 of sine of n times pi divided by 2. Okay, so to enter this in, we'll press second stat, right arrow over to the math menu, select number 5 for sum. And then for the sequence, second stat, right arrow over to the ops menu, select number 5 for sequence. And then we're going to enter this right here, sine of n pi over 2. Here there's a button that says SIN for the sine. You'll press that. And then we're using x this time, so we're going to press xt theta for the x. To get the pi, notice that pi is above the hat key. So we're going to do second hat to get the pi. then divided by 2, close parentheses, for the sign of pi times n times pi over 2, or x times pi over 2. Then separate that by a comma. Our variable we're using is x, so we have to enter x, or by getting the x, pressing xt theta n, then comma. Our lower limit is 0, comma, upper limit is 4, close parentheses. Finally, press enter, and you'll get the answer of 0. Okay, so that means the summation for n equaling from 0 to 4 of sine of n times pi over 2 ends up being 0. All right, so hopefully this will assist you in doing some of those problems if you had the TI-83 Plus calculator. Now, if you have the TI-84 Plus calculator, then you might need to watch the video for the lesson in section 5.1 dealing with approximating areas under the curves. Okay? But feel free to reach out to me if you have any questions about this.